Hi, I'm Adam Blue and I'm the CTO of QTWO, and I'm excited to be talking to you today about a way that we are making digital banking more engaging on a personal level for account holders. We think it's important for a financial institution to really go on the financial journey that their account holders go through in their lives. And so we built some functionality with partnership from our friends at Molecula to create the most personalized, most engaging experience in the digital channel that's been available to date. What we're going to talk about today is the way in which we use this to change the experience for an end user. And then we'll take a look at the tools that are available in the back end of the product to manage this from the FI side. And then we'll hear from H.O. Maycott, the CEO of Molecula, a little bit about how we just really could not have done this without their technology. So let's get started by taking a look at the mobile banking application. Up at the top here, we've got a view of their accounts in a handy carousel that shows them where they are. And then below that, we have some dynamically identified content from our Finex engine that shows that they have a task that's outstanding. This is an incomplete construction loan document that they had been building. This task has been placed here because it's the most important thing for them to deal with in this login. And then we can see there's another task in the carousel that tells them that they have draft approvals awaiting review. Those conveniently appear immediately below because they're the next highest value item. Below these approvals then, we have a list of cash flow to show the small business owner where they are in their business, and then a call to action for Autobooks, which is a partnership product out of Q2 Marketplace for small business accounting for small businesses on the Q2 platform. So these items are arranged in the order that we think they create value in the experience. They've been dynamically selected as per this login to be the value that the end user needs to get. Now, for contrast, let's take a look at a retail user and what they would see in the application at the same financial institution and from the same software application. On the retail side, we're going to see something a little different. Starting up at the top here, we have the same carousel of accounts, but below that is a very different offer. It's an offer for skip a payment because we've identified that this particular account holder is in a state of financial distress at this time. Below that is a financial insights piece of content that reflects back on them that paying their bills late will negatively impact credit score. And then we can see that we've identified credit score as a point of value for them in the experience. And the messages that you're seeing are aligned with their being selected into an audience of financial distress and currently a below average credit score. There's some other content that appears after this that's relatively broad content that's meant for all users that's been slotted in as a result of the engine. And so you can see the differences on the left with a commercial user and on the right with the retail user in the same application in terms of the way we select and deliver content and capabilities. Let's switch now and take a look at the tools that we provide the financial institution to deal with how to make these decisions. What we're really trying to do here is take everything we've learned about account holders, which shows up in these notions of audiences on the right-hand side of this view of our back-end tooling, and use those audiences to select the best possible content. So if you're in a consumer audience, you would see content that's relevant to a consumer. If you're also part of a small business audience, because maybe you're both, there's additional content that starts to show up. We really take this programming task of mapping between audience membership using the massive amount of data we have about end users and account holders and map that into the experience that is had in the mobile and web apps by using this no-code tool we've built for customers as the linking point. We have over 800 million individual traits across 15 to 16 million users, and managing those is pretty intense, as you might imagine. But we need to have all that data to tell us how we can drive the experience to create the most value for our account holders. And we've partnered with a technology partner in Molecula to allow us to take data from 400 plus sources, map it into our nearly 1 billion observations and growing, and then in real time, deliver the insights and the guidance to create the best experience for our end users based on what the financial institution thinks is important to them. So let's take a moment now to hear from H.O. Maycott, the CEO of Molecula, to tell us about the feature store technology that we're using to drive a lot of this capability around dynamic personalization.
Thank you, Adam. Hello, everyone. I'm H.O. Maycott, the CEO of Molecula. We're really proud to help power these amazing capabilities at Q2. We are an enterprise feature store, which is an entirely new category of technology that centralizes data for machine scale analytics and AI. Think of it as a data warehouse for the machines. The problem with data today is that your most important information, like customers, merchants, devices, sits in hundreds of systems strewn across your organization. So getting a complete up-to-the-moment status of these critical entities is very difficult using conventional data technology and requires architecting, deploying, managing, and securing complex infrastructure for every single project. Feature stores change all of that by continuously converting raw data into what we call features. Features are the basic ingredient that data scientists and AI researchers have been using to prepare data for machine analysis for decades. We now do that automatically so that data scientists and application developers can focus 100% of their time building value for their customers. Usually this functionality is only available to the most sophisticated companies in the world. So we're incredibly excited to partner with QTWO to bring these super evolutionary capabilities to community banks and their customers.
Thanks, HO. That's a really great view of the technology we're using to solve a tremendously difficult problem, which is how do we in real time take an enormous amount of data from disparate sources and map that into making the decisions about what goes into a great mobile banking experience. So to that end, let's take a look at our retailer user again, 3 to 5 months later. You'll notice they built up some balance in their checking account. They have opened a savings account and started to save an emergency fund. Down below, you can see they've signed up for Biller Direct and they are able to pay their bills on time because of the prompts from the application that identifies when they have bills that are due, that places it front and center in their mobile experience. And they have started to make strong progress against both an emergency fund goal and a goal for accumulating a down payment on a car, specifically an F-150 pickup truck. Below that, you can see an offer that's been selected because as a result of their improved credit rating and their achievement of their payoff goal, the financial institution knows that they're likely to be interested in a car loan. The placement of this car loan in the sequence of content in the mobile application feels very natural, and it really reflects the way that they've grown over time. So not only will dynamic personalization allow us to draw differences between different kinds of account holders in the same financial institution, it also tailors the experience over time as the end user changes where they are and drives their financial situation in the direction that they want to go. And so our approach then is to take our best-in-class capabilities and content, marry that up to high-scale data in real time using the molecular technology, and then create a no-code tool set for allowing our financial institutions to program this experience and put them in control of going on the financial journey with their account holders. Greg, any questions?
Yeah, so we got a little bit more than 90 seconds left. Just a couple of quick ones. The first one, can users be members of multiple audiences?
Absolutely, they can. One of the things that's really powerful about this technology is that as an end user uses the application and as their financial situation changes, they flow in and out of different audiences, and that membership in those audiences is what the financial institution uses to program the experience, to determine what content they would see and how it's prioritized.
Okay, cool. And then the last question before I let you get to your close, does this engine that drives this, is that running in real time?
It absolutely is. Both the surfacing of traits or features, as Molecular calls them, and the computation of audiences not only happens in real time, but it can actually change during an end user session as they make choices. For instance, if an end user has bills to pay and that puts the bill payment component at the top of the stack, and then they pay those bills, in session we update that they have moved from having bills to not having bills, and it deprioritizes that content because it's no longer as relevant. So thanks for those questions, Greg. Just to sum up, we know that across our customer base and across our financial institutions, every one of their account holders has their own individual financial journey and their own story. And so we're focused on building the technology and tools that let our bankers and our financial institutions create the right experience to handle 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million stories in their customer base and go on the financial journey. Thanks very much for the time today to communicate with everyone about this innovation that we're driving at QTWO. We will, of course, be in the booth, and we'd love to talk to you more about this solution. So please stop on by and chat with us. Thank you.